Now that the world has started a fight against climate change and global warming by completely cutting man-made greenhouse gas emissions and phase out fossil fuels, a scramble for Africa's clean energy minerals has started. The world is working on the energy transition, which refers to the global energy sector's shift from fossil-based systems of energy production and consumption to renewable energy sources like wind and solar, as well as lithium-ion batteries. Big continents such as Europe and United States of America are now rushing to Africa to extract minerals such as cobalt, lithium, manganese, nickel, among others that are essential to renewable and low-carbon technologies. This means that mining in countries like Zambia will be maximized in order to extract the much-needed minerals for the energy transition. However, a youth-based organization in Zambia, Fpsz Zambia, is advocating the preservation of the environment and protection of human rights by mining companies as they conduct their operations of extracting minerals.
It is a call to African countries, not only Zambia, African countries, that as we move into the trajectory of mineral transition, where the world is coming to Africa to scramble for the minerals for energy transition, from fossil fuel to clean energy, we need to make sure that as we get these critical minerals, and these critical minerals which we are mentioning, we are meaning is this: copper, cobalt, manganese, those essential minerals that are used in making solar panels, creating wind energy, as well as hydro. Copper you cannot do without copper. You cannot do without cobalt. You cannot do without manganese. So as we are extracting these essential minerals, we need to make sure that where people are living, we should compensate them adequately, we should consult them adequately, we should ensure that the environment is protected, so that together we get the maximum benefits of the minerals. So we are saying, let there be fair and equitable share of resources in terms of us transiting from fossil fuel to clean energy. That is the campaign that we are doing as a civil society organization. That's how critical it is.
Meanwhile, other stakeholders have teamed up with Fpsz Zambia in sensitizing residents in mining areas to understand how to identify and record mining impacts that affects their livelihood.
We are here specifically in Chingola to train the communities who live around the mining investment. And these people, they are the people who feel the real effect of mining. And their impact ranges from environmental, economic inequalities, and also social, as well as human rights. So we are here to train. We've got a group of about 50 drawn from Mufrida, Karulushi, and here in Chingola. We are training them on the mining impacts. We're training them on human rights related issues that comes from the mining, as well as the environmental justice. Okay. So we'd like them to understand the principles in terms of how mining impacts are documented, how the impacts translate into other extended impacts. But also the most important is understanding their rights, because these are communities and they normally have a band of rights. So this band of rights, when one right is affected, then it goes ahead to affect another rights, and just like that. So we really want them to have skills. We really want them to understand how to document impacts. We really want them to make the whole chain of custody of information in place, so that it is easier for regulatory authorities and government to take stock of these impacts, and then place orders for the government to take charge, as well as the mining companies as well, because when we are doing this, we are not saying that mining companies are not capable of solving the environmental impact that they cause themselves. Yeah, most of them, they have the capabilities. Most of them, they also have resources, to manage the impacts that they create. But what is important is also to train and make some people to be the eyes of the government. Because when government is not there, the people are there. They are able to do exactly what a professional from institutions like ZEMA can do. A community, once well trained, can collect samples, they can take samples to the laboratory, they can also lodge a complaint, they can understand what is happening and document the changes in the environment.
After being trained, residents living in mining areas were able to identify the negative impacts of mining on their livelihood and the environment. Among the affected communities is in Nyanji area in Nchanga constituency of Chingora district, where residents live under cracked houses owing to mining operations at Nchanga open pit mines by Konkola Copper Mines KCM. The local leadership in the area have continued pleading on behalf of the people of Nyanji.
That the issue of relocating the people of Nyanji is long overdue, and as the representative for the community of Ndungwa, I'm so concerned about the lives of the people in Nyanji. You know, where they are staying is a situation, it's like anytime anything can happen. So my humble appeal is that when government gives or brings in a new investor for KCM, amongst the dues that government has, where paying of contractors and the other stuff, I would really appreciate if reallocating the people of Nyanji in Buntungwa ward was considered. Because as it stands, it is a time bomb. Anything can happen in Nyanji. The cracked houses are in a very bad state. Anything, anytime, anything can happen, especially if mining activities advance. As it stands, KCM Nchanga open pit is still under liquidation, and we know government has made nice pronunciations to say we are soon going to have an investor. We don't know which investor is coming back. Whichever investor comes and takes over the running of Nchanga open pit or KCM at large, we would love that they consider reallocating the people of Nyanji. This is a very humble appeal that I'm making, that they consider reallocating these people. I was given a task, to push for the remaining number of plots that KCM had demanded, which I did after being ushered into office 3 months after that. The remaining 39 plots were given to KCM, making it a total number of 150, if I'm not mistaken, so that we start the project. But as it was, KCM was still under liquidation and nothing could have been done over that issue.
The residents here have for a long time been crying for a relocation.
Afo tuikere kuno kwena mwebanta tuikere bwino. Ifo kwikara tuikere ni mudirisking tuikere kuno kumyesu. Tuli mudenja kwena na mwana na mande fo yale monika ngana yandiye na nokuwa na yuwa na mumone fo ileke ni kumwero yule isa. So ili mfula ile isa mwandi ntatulelala nangu chimwele chichile isa. Kwena tulife mudenje yo akweva ati instead yonse. No mapanti ifo chile tupapo chichakwe watubuteko. Bali ishwa mande iswa chali mkuwelo nomba tuli mudenja chilebu tuko chilepo ne waira no bwati. Bata bali foko bati batusende batukusha emergency.
Utubepa imyaka yafula. So nomba balefa yanga twafa elo bakese mku twafurisha. Prevention is better than cure. Tulefa before that filastike findwa tufumieko.
Konkola Copper Mines KCM management is aware of the situation.
I cannot pronounce, I'm not the provisional liquidator. I think everyone understands we are under liquidation at the moment, but nothing stops KCM management engaging with the authorities to finalize the project plan as far as that relocation is concerned, but that the project would only happen once the liquidation process is complete on it.
Mining operations at Konkola copper mines have not only caused cracks to the houses, but have continued polluting the environment. This is Shimulada stream, which KCM has been polluting for many years. The local stream flows into Mushishima stream, where local people draw water for domestic use.
Mainly yafuma muri Mushishima ero nakakosa stream yo twakwatoka kwali bakakosa stream, so kwalisaba kona issue imo from 2015 ero ya 2010 ero bashire tushitako pollute land yesuko la KCM, so twalibulira omulandu no kutwala kuba kalamba bananikani badi twalisa kwata kweshuko abasungu kufuma kulanda baisa tuwafuirishako ero batuwafuirisheko balisa tolo omulandu court kuti tasuba KCM nabagenda resources, so kyashireko nkapo kona twalisalolela sana omulandu wafuma Major Street, High Court until wafukana ku Supreme Court, so efo kyashire, so mukulolela bashire tubati omulandu namuwina, so imwe mwalaba compensated because mwalinwa amensha asidiro futi balitona wira amabala kyasa ponena monge fine mule monefi kyasa ponena mu mabala yesu nombe kyashire kitika balisa flock staff feel kuti batupere ndalama coding nefo batulaire balisa tukitaso kusatupera ndalama ba so babutuka bale isaba sungu batutekesha twanfwa iyo ba KCM bayimine balishuka ki batupere feni bafumye omulandu court to deal ne private likono bati barabatu balikena ati muyesho okupoka ndalama tule mipokera shakulya n'abaana n'abeshikulu ne fishkululwa, but surprisingly basire tupere ndalama same figure n'abashakwata amabala nabo tafyaona ikako kusaba perera chapo mo 50 number 50. Can this be yo tuingalisha mu abana n'abeshikulu yine 50 efo batunyanta feno okutunyanta.
Despite the local people being compensated, Konkola Copper Mines KCM has continued polluting the stream. The same pollution happens in Chambishi Township of Kalurushi District, where a local mining firm, Chambishi Copper Smelter (CCS), discharge acid emissions into Luela stream, a stream that is used by local farmers to irrigate their vegetable farms.
Irishanya kwesu tule irishanya kuno tuwaikara tuli farmers ero tuikara mumbali yakamana nomba natushunguruka na companies kwati ba CCS na balokujini, so tulechanga twali mama garden ameshinga tulebo mfea mwine mukamana mulia ifili mwata file kula file befia tosa pamula ndo fia seed fia file pita mulia bataka le lyonsero twaleli mafia bafye bwino nompamula ndo fine na fishupa nomba no kufa kwa tuchitefu na itukosera pandomo twaika fye muri ubwino bulimi nomba pali no sa na fotofa okobo afurisho kwa ata abantu at least babebe beshi befe bakurakita no tuhefya kuratu posere fiko mumenshi bantu baratu ipaya tebo nsabe ngengire nchito mukubomba kashima kampana mu government tebonse tedi buteko kumachi nomba potwa kwata opportunity yakwati nafwebe ne tule ibombera batubikire ko environment tube conducive yakwati fe tule bomba file tukita support na ma families.
Officials from government's environmental department have tested and proved that the water from the mine into the stream is acidic. And in Mufra district, residents from local communities such as Kankoyo and Butondo complain over sulfur emissions from Mopani copper mines.
Here in Kankoyo, as a result of mining activities, we have been suffering a lot. Here, each and every time we experience the issue of sulfur dioxide, which the mine has been releasing. Like recently, we received the president here, he came. Now, after that day, we experienced a lot of fumes came out from the mine. Even yesterday, around 20 hours, we experienced the same thing. This simply means that this environment is not conducive for human life. For example, if you talk of most of the diseases that we have been suffering from, each and every time we complain chest pain, we complain the issue of coughing, the issue of sneezing, flu, such things. And if you want to verify, or if you think that what I'm saying is not correct, you can go and find out from Clinic Free there, our clinic.
The mine has also been discharging emissions into the Lake Mufulira stream for many years. Futurepreneur Zambia organization still feels that government needs to do more in ensuring that communities in mining areas are protected from the negative impacts of mining.
But even as we are looking at that, we have forgotten that we've been mining for over 50 years. There is historical mining issues that is still pending. Hence, my question again is, if we are not going to use prudently the Environmental Protection Fund to address the historical issues of mining and the current ones, we are heading to a doom. So, the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Nzovu, need to move in a light speed and hold Zema accountable, because those are the mandatory institutions that have been given power to monitor the damage of our environment. They are the ones who give the EPBF, whether the EPB is equitable to what they have assessed or not. It is important. The other aspect is, let us engage the local community, because when we want to revegetate, we are not going to revegetate with the mines. We can only revegetate with the local community. They live there, they have lived there, they know the benefit of revegetating their environment. Last but not the least, I'll give you a practical example from Mufulira, where we had the disaster of those good number of our beloved brothers and brothers who died underground because of the slum that sunk. That was a tailing dam which sank, and it killed good number of people who were resourceful to this country. Do we need that again? If we don't need that, we need to hold the mining companies accountable. Environmental law needs to be implemented. I am urging the Minister of Environment, Mr. Nzovu, to be proactive to ensure that the environmental law is implemented. And how is it going to be implemented? It is not going to be implemented on a lip service. It has to be implemented with the engagement of the local community. Civil society organization, we put our heads together, we implement the environmental law. We hold the mining companies accountable. As we bring in the investors, they need to understand that we have got laws and they have to abide by our laws.